At St. Paul's, we want to share in God's generosity by the giving of our time, talents, and resources for the building up of Christ's kingdom. This is what we are called to as stewards of God's gifts to us. This year's stewardship theme is Our Spiritual Home, Growing Together. Our spiritual home is our wonderful church of St. Paul's. Our growing together involves all that God is doing and has done among us. Even during the restraints imposed by the coronavirus, we are still endeavoring to share in that growth. We recognize that our giving is at the foundation of our life together as a community and of our growth together in following Christ's call to love and serve others.
When I began my church visiting last fall, shortly after moving to Newburyport, I couldn't help but being drawn to the stately, historic church within walking from home that shared my faith. You greeted me with radical gospel hospitality, reached out to include me in church activity, and received my gifts of time and talent graciously.
For each of the 47 years that I've been a member here, I have always felt a strong sense that I belong here as we share our faith, our joys, our sorrows, our time, our talents, our treasures, our all with one another. St. Paul's is truly our spiritual home.
I'm really excited about this year's stewardship theme of growing together. To me, this is the nugget that holds us together as a vital parish. I think of the amazing growth of our Among Friends Meals program and the many people that are contributing to its success. I think of the incredible work that our tech team is doing to enable all of us to be present virtually at Sunday services and even a wedding recently. These are just a couple of examples of how we continue to grow together, both personally in our spiritual lives and together as a parish.
The parable of the mustard seed is the scripture cornerstone we chose to illustrate our theme. It presents for us an image that relates to a faith community like St. Paul's that is grown, is growing, and will continue to flourish as a home for all God's children. Just like the infant mustard seed grows into a strong, healthy tree that welcomes the birds, St. Paul's welcomes all, ministers to all, and provides a worship experience for all.
Our stewardship theme of the tiny mustard seed growing into the largest of trees helps me visualize the branches of St. Paul's reaching out and touching the lives of others. From our liturgy and worship, teaching and spiritual formation, enriching the lives of children, families, and youth, to serving our community around us. This month, my family celebrates 20 years of worship at St. Paul's Church. Over the last 20 years, I have felt called to support the many branches of St. Paul's by giving our time, our talent, and that which is less visible to others, our treasure. I pledge in response to God's calling and God's blessings in our life. How much I pledge is a beautiful commitment between me and God.
We enjoy the rich liturgies from our own prayer book and from the liturgies of others. We relish the dynamic, meaningful, thought-provoking, and gospel-related sermons. I think of the sermon on September 20th as a prime example. We delight in the fellowship from worshiping and interacting with one another, and we actively participate in our various ministries here.
We can all contribute to the life and ministry of St. Paul's through our stewardship, especially now when we haven't all been able to be present together each Sunday. Our stewardship presence is a testimony to our commitment to St. Paul's ongoing outreach. Each person's financial sacrifice helps the church branch out to minister to others.
It is my hope that you, like me, we'll give prayerful consideration of how you will contribute to our future of growing together.
Think of your financial giving to St. Paul's as a response to the blessings God has bestowed on you and your family this year, and a way to give thanks for the blessing of St. Paul's in your life. Ask yourself, what is God calling me to do with what I have? Whether the amount is a mustard seed or a large shrub, respond as you are able, with a thankful heart, to the glory of God.
During this stewardship season, let us each reflect on our own belonging and consider how we can share and increase our time, talent, and treasure in this, our spiritual home, our St. Paul's Church.
The kingdom of heaven,
The kingdom of heaven,
The kingdom of heaven,
The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed.
which a man took and sowed in his field.
it is the smallest of all seeds.
but when it has grown, it is the greatest of shrubs.
And becomes a tree.
It becomes a tree
So that the birds of the air come
And make nests in its branches.